Well, good morning, campers. It's the 14th of June. It's about 9:30, so that. Went lay here in bed. Stayed in all day yesterday. Never stepped outside. Had a slight watering eyes. Not sneezing, but my eyes, the eyelids, that are so sore. They, the eyes watering, rub my eyes. But that's by the by. Nothing happens really. I mean, Kev's coming around this afternoon to fix the van, so I need to move that I can swing that round so he can work in the shade. Just hope he can get the bits, or the bit, and get the bushes pressed out. Um, yeah, I don't know. This is my weird logic, or not. But they always say the end justifies the means, don't they? Which is not really true, is it? I was watching that Addy somewhere his name is, a little black fella in a wheelchair, and he was going around. I can't remember. Is it the Verdi Islands? I can't remember which. Anyway, wherever it is, just off Africa. I watched it on the telly last night, and oh, sorry, it's here. And I was watching it on the telly last night, and he was going about the slaves. And don't get me wrong. Don't get any fucking weird ideas about me. But I would say this slavery of any type is really bad. And he was going on, and then he went to this other place. I think in Africa, might be Senegal. I don't know. Anyway, somewhere in Africa, and he was on about this bloke was showing around the prison. They used to keep the slaves, but they used to keep the like 250 in a great big room, men, women, and children, but kept them separate. Oh, excuse me. And they were saying the door of no return. They had like a doorway that you went out there on a boat and you'd never see Africa again. And then it went on about people were jumping into the water, trying to commit suicide rather than go, and about how they were dying and how badly they were treated and whatever. And they were treated abominably, terrible way they were treated. It was disgusting. But then when you think about it, and it went through, they go over to America, wherever they were slaves, and they were treated really badly. Some of them got through and became like houseboys and things like that, and they were the lucky ones or luckier ones. And then it went through, and then slavery was abolished. Now he hasn't said all this, but like then that he was just talking about the slaves. I said because then I'm thinking slavery's got abolished, and some of the black guys fought for the North, didn't they, against the South and what have you. And now it's gone. How many generations? Maybe 5 generations, 6 generations, 7 generations. I don't really know. And you see, there's black doctors, black policemen, black nurses, black every form of life in America, and they've got a really good life, which all came from them. They could trace their parents. They could trace their heritage back to their parents, or well, their parents being slaves, or their parents, grandparents, great grandparents. You know what I mean? So, in the end, down the generations, they've done all right. So, take that as you want. Take it cynical. Take it however you want. But I mean, they've done all right, and you can't argue with it really. The way it's got round to it was disgusting and abhorrent. That's right. My tea's just arrived. Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
You all right? Oh, she's bloody gone now. That don't take long, did it? You all right? Oh, that's all right. Yeah. So anyway, so that's my little bit about that. But then he goes on and he goes into Africa as it is today. And this chap was there collecting salt, and they were getting, I think he said, half a penny a kilo for this salt. And how they were living in Africa in extreme poverty, horrible it is. And I got to thinking of myself, well, when those slaves, like all they said, they can hardly make a living. They're scraping a living, And then there's on about the fishermen there, and they're making a reasonable living now. But now the trawlers are going in, the ships, the fish stocks are getting low. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, they slaves got out of there and paid the ultimate price, didn't they? You know, well, we all die in the end anyway. But I mean, the way they were treated. But I expect some people were treated all right. Well, it's like people having dogs, isn't it? Some people treat them all right, and some people don't. And don't think I'm comparing dogs with black people because I'm not. It's like horses or anything. People have all sorts of things. They treat them well. It's like people treat their kids well, and some people don't. And you think that the sacrifice that they paid, for their not realising it, but when they were made slaves, that it would go on through the generations, that they would become unslaved and finish up with a far better life than they would have had if they'd stayed in Africa. It's just a thought. Just went through my head. I was just sort of thinking about it, and then they go on about the Coastal Hall in Bristol. They chuck that statue of him in the canal, the docks. I mean, what good did that do? Fucking no good at all, did it? And then they changed the name of the Coastal Hall. Well, if they don't want things made by slave traders, they're quite happy to keep the hall and keep everything that goes with it. Just change the name. What bullshit is that, isn't it? If you're really set against it, you would have nothing to do with it, would you? I mean, you get people getting married, and the husband's left his wife, or the wife's left her husband with the house. He gets married again, and then she just suddenly don't want to live in the house because it was his wife's house. I got a mate of mine from Cornwall. I mean, he had a little business with his wife, and he had 2 personal number plates, which I've got now. And he had one of his cars, she had one on her car. Now he wasn't bothered about it, but his new wife didn't want it. I mean, I don't know why she didn't want it. Perhaps she did in another place. I got no weird why at all. But it all seems a bit strange to me. How another human being can have another human being as a slave is beyond me. Oh, I know it's get on through. Oh yeah, and this bloke, it was a fisherman. He basically said that if his grandparents had gone on, or his great grandparents had gone on, and they'd have been slaves, and he'd have been in America or in England, because his slaves were brought to England, he said that he would be in the place that he'd want to be. Not wishing anything bad on his parents or his heritage. But he said what he's trying to do now is to save up enough money to get himself to England. And he said just for the simple fact of a better life. He said because they work night and day, well, they work night and day, they work bloody a long time, and they get nothing. He said, so basically, he said, we're still slaves. And I totally agree with him. Don't want to open a great big discussion about this because it's only my opinion. And my opinion is like your opinion. It counts for fucking nothing. I don't know. I don't really care what your opinion of it is about it. It's just my opinion. And I was just thinking, how lucky that these guys are, whose heritage, or guys and gals, whose heritage are from their ancestors being taken as slaves. They wouldn't have the lives they've got now. Yeah, it made me think. I'm just thinking out loud, really. I got nothing to tell you, so I thought I'd tell you what my thoughts were. But I need to get. I don't know if you can see my eyes; they're quite clear today. But I was so sore across the top. A bushy brow. Keeps fucking sun out your eyes, though. Yeah, so that's about it, really. And I hope you all Slave people, all you people, slave people, hope you're not suffering too bad because it's a fucking nightmare, it is. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on the slaves. You know, uh, well, I'm a slave to love. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. Just my opinion. Anyway, you all have a good day. Ron's gone off down the coast. He said he's going tonight, or today, or tomorrow. My van's done and fixed and running. I don't know if he's going to come with the discs and the pads today as well, but I mean, I don't really need them. I mean, there's a few thousand miles left of them. I just thought I'd get it all done, or get it all done in once, MOT, and it's right, isn't it? But as long as he got that thing done, and I can put because my MOT is, I think it's the 5th of July, so I got plenty of time. Yeah, and I mean, it was piss with MOT apart from that crack. Because I keep it up together, keep fixing it so it all stays right. But then again, it gets treated gently and it don't get used much. Anyway, you think about these slaves and that, have a little thought about it. And talk amongst yourselves, 'cause I don't want to talk to you. I'll speak to you all later. Remember, stay classy. No fighting. I love you all. Bye-bye. And you, Skins.